Hello and welcome to the VickyCharles.com podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. For those who don't know, I am a blogger and social media trainer, and I'm here to help you with all of your blog and social media needs. The show notes for this and all previous podcasts can be found at VickyCharles.com/podcast, and you can sign up to my mailing list to download a free sheet of social media tips at VickyCharles.com/social. This week's episode, number 49, is 5 things to never do on your Facebook page. So let's get on with it. So welcome to episode number 49 of the VickyCharles.com podcast. This week's episode is 5 things to never do on your Facebook page. Now, I try and resist kind of dealing in absolutes in terms of you should never do this or you should always do this. So this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, these are 5 things that you really never should do. I would never do them, and when I see them on other people's page, they make me cringe. So that's why I'm podcasting about it, is to kind of share what I believe are just, best practices in terms of what not to do. So the first tip for things never to do on your Facebook page is to use it solely as an advertisement for your business or your blog. Quite often people will set up a Facebook page to promote their business or their blog. That's why I set up my Facebook pages. They promote my business, and one promotes my business and the other one promotes my blog, and that's fine. But it's not like the olden days of posting a billboard where you would just, you've got a billboard, you've got 2 lines in a newspaper and you just need to get your message across, so you do just say, buy this. This is more like networking in terms of old-fashioned networking, where you go to a networking event and you chat to people and you get to know them. That's what we need to start thinking of Facebook as. It's a place to build community, a place to kind of chat to people and get to know them. A brilliant example of this that I use all the time, and I don't think he even knows I do it, go and check out the Facebook page for Salisbury Tile Store. This guy knows that the reality is I'm not going to need to tile my bathroom every day or every month or even every year. He knows that he's not going to sell me any tiles this year, but he still wants to talk to me. So he posts his updates. He'll do, careful with the weather out there today, blah, blah, or it's really hot today, or I'm in the office today, this is what I'm doing today, blah, blah. And he will just post updates like that to get people to chat to him. Probably because he's alone in the shop all day. But, he posts these updates. He might post a few pictures later on of a bathroom that he's seen that he likes, things like that, or post, a photo of something that's going on in the shop or something like that. But he's there every single day saying, hello, how are you doing today? What are you up to today? The weather's doing this today. Did you see this at the weekend? Things like that. Because he knows that I'm not going to buy any tiles from him this year, but he knows that next year, the year after, I might need to tile my bathroom, and that I will immediately think, oh, that guy at Salisbury Tile Store is really nice, so I'll go there. Because of the Facebook engagement that he's built up, I see him, he's on the top of my list because I see him on Facebook every single day chatting away. He'll comment on other people's posts as well throughout the day. He'll engage with people. Obviously it's a local business, so he engages with local people. If you're working on a more national or international level, then you bear that in mind in terms of whether you're posting about, be careful out there, it's cold, or the A36 is chocker or something. But I think his page is a really great example of how to do Facebook when you don't have something to sell immediately, when people aren't going to buy things immediately. And I think we should all be assuming people aren't going to buy something from you immediately. You need to assume that you just want to build up that community, you want to put across who you are, build the engagement, make people kind of see who you are so that they will hopefully like you. If you want people to engage on your page, if you want engagement, you have to engage. When I say to people, what's your biggest thing about Facebook? What do you want me to tell you about Facebook? The answer I always get is, how do I get people to engage with me? How do I get engagement? Well, you engage with people. You go out there. You can go out as your page and comment on other people's pages. And you should do that. Absolutely go and do that. See it as a place of community, the same as your personal profile page. I would hope now that nobody's using a personal profile page to promote anything. They're just on there to connect with people. And that's how I think we need to use Facebook pages, to connect with people, to build that community. By all means, post a link to your website, to your blog, to this, post a photo of your latest gadget, your latest thing you're selling. But it shouldn't be the only post you're posting that day. It shouldn't be the only thing you're posting, week on week. Links to your website or whatever should make up a very small percentage of what you're posting on Facebook. The second thing that I believe you should never do on Facebook is post several photos at a time. My reasoning for this is, the reality is the majority of people on Facebook these days are using Facebook on their mobile. And when you're scrolling through your newsfeed on your mobile, you don't want to do anything that's going to click away from that newsfeed, because you know that when you come back to your newsfeed, you will have lost your place and you'll have to start again. That is the long and the short of it. But also, who do you think is going to look at 10 photos that you posted this morning of your product? Nobody. They might look at the first one and go, yeah, that's cool. They might be really nosy and look at the second one. The only person that's going to look at all 10 is your competitor, who really wants to know what you're up to. Nobody else is interested. It's sad, but it's true. I hate to break your heart. Nobody's interested. If you really need to post, or you really want to post, 7 pictures of the same thing, spread them out over the course of the day. Maybe one an hour over the day, or one a day over the course of a week. Make a series out of it. By doing that, you're spreading out. You're also making it that more people are going to see them, because they don't have to click away from their newsfeed to like it or to comment on it. And they can share it as well if they want to. People won't share a whole album of pictures with people. They're only really going to share one at a time. So make it really so that they see one at a time. I mean, obviously there's going to be exceptions to this rule. If you have been to an event and you want to post a load of pictures, then do that. But just accept that, the only people that are going to look at them are people who are really, really interested. You're not going to get the people that skim through. They're never going to click out of their newsfeed. You want to do things that are going to keep them engaged while they're in their newsfeed. The third thing to never do on Facebook is to copy and paste updates. Now, you might be surprised, but I have seen this on business pages fairly recently. People have posted on their Facebook page things like, it's always to do with, I'm raising awareness for cancer, or dead dogs, or one-armed goldfish. And most people won't copy and paste this status and leave it on their page for 1 hour. When Facebook first came out, these were massive and loads of people did them, and I think I even joined in with some of them. Now Facebook is a bit older. What is it, 9-10 years old now? That moment has passed, people, and certainly if you're running a page for your business, copying and pasting, even if you really want to raise awareness for one-armed goldfish, show some originality and do it with your own words. Even if you only kind of just reword what the status was that you saw originally, better that you do that than copy and paste and show that you don't have the imagination to come up with it for yourself. I really feel very strongly about this because they really annoy me. So I've seen some funny ones like, copy and paste this status if you know somebody who's been eaten by dragons. That's quite amusing on a personal profile, but really very rarely would it be acceptable to post it on a business page, even if it's for your blog, your personal blog or something. I just don't see the point in it, because copying and pasting really just shows a lack of originality, a lack of imagination, and makes me think that you just can't be bothered to come up with content for yourself. My fourth thing to never do on Facebook is to post inconsistently. I see this all the time, everywhere, with businesses, with personal, with like one-man bands, with big businesses, with blogs. So many people are doing it, and I don't know why they're even bothering to be on Facebook in the first place. If you're going to be on Facebook, you have to show up consistently every single day. But you also, when you show up, need to show up kind of consistently through the day. I've seen people post, twice in an hour and then nothing for 3 days. And I'm thinking, well, why did you bother with that post twice in an hour? Because nobody's going to see that, because you weren't online for the 3 days beforehand. Facebook's algorithms, while they're not working against you, they're not out to get you, they're also not out to deliberately help just you. They're not going to shove your stuff into people's newsfeeds on the 1 day a month that you post. They work towards the end user. And if you're not posting, they're going to assume that you're a dead page, and they're not going to bother keep checking your page to see if you've updated. People and algorithms. So if you're going to post on Facebook at all, if you're going to bother to have a Facebook page, post consistently. It is very easy to go in for half an hour on a Monday morning and schedule a post for every single day, so that you know if you don't manage to get to Facebook today, you've got a post going out later. Do that as a bare minimum. If you can't get in there every day to engage with people, at least schedule some stuff and come back later to reply to comments. Don't leave it and then post and then suddenly go, oh, I've got all these pictures I want to post, and post them all at the same time. Or suddenly go, oh, here's a great link, and here's another great link, and here's a picture, and here's another great link, and now I'm going to ask you a question. and now I'm going to go and kind of work on my business and not check my Facebook page for 3 days. That's really bad form, and nobody's going to see it. And the people who did see it and commented, when you didn't reply for 3 days, they up and left and went to play with a page that did answer them. My fifth thing to never do on Facebook is to think you're more important than your fans. I hate the word fan. Just don't think the people who like your page are just as important as you. They're all human beings. You know, they all bleed when you cut them. They're all the same as you. Be humble about it. You know, if somebody comments on your thing, if somebody compliments you for something, say thank you. If somebody says anything at all, if somebody comments, always respond. I find it really uncomfortable. People comment and say that my daughter's really pretty, and I feel like I shouldn't say thank you because they've not said I'm pretty, but I also shouldn't just go, yeah, she is, isn't she? So I tend to go, oh, thanks, I think so too, or something like that. You know, I've said several times, you know, if you get something where you get 50 comments saying the same thing, you don't have to reply to every single one. Like every single one and put a big comment at the bottom to say thank you. Always thank people. If somebody's taken the time to come and comment on your page, to comment on your picture, to give you their opinion, to give you their advice, always thank them. Always interact with them, always engage with them. Otherwise they're not going to come back. They'll go and chat to somebody else. Don't think that you're so important that people should just pay you the compliment of talking to you on your page. You know, don't think that you're so important that people should should come and read your blog. They just should come and look at your pictures of whatever you're posting. They just should click your links. They just should buy things for you. Why should they? You know, thank people for taking the time to come and interact with you. Don't think that you're so important. You know, you might be at the top of this chart, at the top of that chart. You might be the biggest person in your business, in your network marketing business. You might be at the top of the pile this week. Next week it might all change. And if you've not been nice to people, then the fact that you are, you know, at the top of the top rung of the ladder, when you fall down, you know, the fact that you've not been nice to people, they just won't come back. You know, the people who are only commenting, you know, as some sort of weird cult of the personality because they think they'll benefit from being in your shadow, once you fall down a rung or two, they won't be there, and you'll have lost that. If you haven't engaged with people, they won't stick around. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. Everyone deserves a response. Everyone is a person. And if they've taken the time to comment, then, you know, they're very important. Like, if you think how many people there are on Facebook, how many other pages out there are, billions of other pages out there that people could go and interact with, go and comment on, go and like, and they've chosen to come and talk to you. Out of all of those billions of other people, there are at least thousands of people doing exactly what you're doing right now on Facebook. And if somebody's bothered to come to your page and talk to you, then you really should do them the courtesy of answering them, of responding to them, of thanking them for taking the time. So that was episode number 49, 5 things to never do on Facebook. I would love to know what you think about this. Do you think I'm being a bit pushy? Do you think that who the hell is she to say that I shouldn't do that? Or who the hell is she to say that I should do that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. Do please leave me a comment and let me know. Thank you so much for listening to the VickyCharles.com podcast. You can find the show notes for this and all previous podcasts at VickyCharles.com/podcast. And if you'd like a free download of top social media tips to help you get going on your Facebook and Twitter, please visit VickyCharles.com/social to get your free download. You can find me on Facebook, where I am VickyCharles.com or Single Mother Ahoy, or on Twitter, where I am at Single M Ahoy. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll be back next week.